Alright guys, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be answering one very simple question: should you go Aldor or Scryer in TBC Classic? Now I'm going to be telling you the absolute truth when it comes to this topic, because 90% of the videos I've seen on this topic have been entirely incorrect. One video I found that was absolutely bang on, but then all the other videos didn't really tell you whether you should go Aldor or Scryer specifically to the spec that you're playing. So I'm going to give you a very clear answer for what you should go for depending on the spec that you are playing. If you like this video and you want to help out guys, please like it, subscribe and follow me on Twitch and Instagram. But anyway, let's jump in. So the first big topic is shoulder enchants. Now I honestly don't think these are even worth talking about, because the difference between all the shoulder enchants is really tiny, apart from healers, but even then it's still pretty tiny. Guys, we are talking about a 1 DPS difference between the enchants, okay? If you do the calculations, the difference is so tiny it's not even worth doing. Okay, I've looked at formulas on the Shadow Panther forums for melee DPS, I found old Warmane forums for hunters and for caster DPS, and the difference is so tiny it's not even worth talking about. And here's another big bold drop: the enchants from Saffron in Naxxramas provide the exact same amount of DPS as the Aldor and Scryer enchants, give or take 1 DPS. When it comes to tanks, particularly protection paladins and warriors, the Scryer enchant provides 0.1% more avoidance. Yes, 0.1. When you equip 2 shoulder items exactly the same but with different enchants, so it literally means nothing. Technically the Aldor enchant is slightly better for druid tanks because it provides more avoidance since they don't have block, but honestly it's still a really small difference. And personally I think the Nax enchants are better for a tank since it increases their stamina by 16, which will scale up further with their tanking talents that increase their stamina percentage, and that's for all tanks by the way. So honestly there's so little difference between the Nax enchants and the Scryer and Aldor enchants that I wouldn't bother grinding all the way to Exalted to pick them up unless there's an extremely impactful pre-raid best in slot gear piece for your class. Okay, the reason why I wouldn't bother is because first of all it's extremely time consuming and extremely expensive because you have to buy all of the rep items if you're not going to grind a rep yourself, and that time could be better spent farming gold for crafting your best in slot profession gear, which is 10 times more impactful than the reputation gear because it will last multiple raid tiers. You know, we're talking Lionheart Sword, we're talking Spell Strike, Frozen Shadow Weave, everything like that. You're better off spending your time going for that gear than honestly Aldor and Scryer gear, because at the end of the day this Scryer and Aldor gear is going to get replaced by Karazhan and Grul's and Magfaridon's gear. Now there are some exceptions, so the Aldor shoulder enchant for healers is a little bit of a boost compared to the Scryer enchant or the Nax enchant, but granted it's only 2 extra healing power and then 1 less MP5, so it's really up to you whether you want to spend that amount of time and gold getting this reputation grinded up. Like I said, I think it's only worth doing if one of the exalted rewards for Aldor or Scryer is really good and you know it's going to last you a long time and won't get replaced by raiding gear. Otherwise, save your time and money and prioritise your time getting your crafted gear. But MetaGoblin, what about the Shattered Sun necklaces, you may be thinking? Well, so overall the Aldor necklaces are better for every class because they provide a spell power, healing power, attack power or dodge proc for 10 seconds. This can be especially powerful for classes who can take advantage of dot abilities such as Shadow Priest, Warlock, Boomkins, Feral Druids, Arms Warriors, Elemental Shamans and even a Retribution Paladin with Consecration. Because if you refresh your dot 1 second before the proc falls off, it will continue to deal the damage for the rest of the duration, like the extra damage that you would have got with that proc. So some of these classes, they're going to go Aldor anyway, so you can pick up the necklace and see if it gives you a DPS boost, but casters will likely always want to go Scryers for the very powerful Blood Gem, which gives you a decent amount of spell hit, which is very essential for pre-raiding phase of the game, and then also a spell damage cooldown, which is also very nice. And honestly, I couldn't find anyone in the top private server guilds using the Shattered Sun necklace, because they were all using the Tempest Keep reward necklace, which is actually a quest reward that drops off the last boss. I think most people just go for that one, so yeah, casters probably just go Scryer anyway. Last thing to really bear in mind is that there are unique quest rewards depending on what faction you went for, because in the Shatar you unlock particular quests that you can only get from Aldor or Scryer. So honestly, these quest rewards just kinda add a few useful items. The Aldor seems to have more melee DPS rewards, whereas the Scryers seem to have more caster rewards, well, better rewards anyway. And then Aldor also has some really good cheeky protection paladin rewards. But again, these are only really good for pre-raid best in slot. You will replace these pretty quickly. So my final advice is to pick whichever faction gives you the best pre-raid rewards, okay, because at the end of the day the factions are only really impactful for the pre-raid tier 4 phase of the game, just like all the other reps. The people who will argue that you need to go for the long-term rewards and pick the slightly better shoulder enchants, okay, those people are, you know, people who've been playing private servers for a very long time and they've min-maxed it to absolute hell, and they for some reason think an extra 1 DPS is very impactful when it just simply isn't. I mean, for instance, as a protection warrior or a protection paladin, like, good luck getting the defense cap pre-raid without the Aldor chest reward, because that chest reward is insane, and I couldn't get to the defense cap, sorry, not the defense cap, but the avoidance cap, like uncrushable cap, without it. Another thing you've also got to think about is your off-spec, okay? You may want to grind like hell getting the best gear from all the dungeons for your main spec, rather than relying on rep rewards, and then get rep-based rewards based on your off-spec for faster rewards, because then you'll essentially be farming 2 gear sets simultaneously. So let me give you a clear answer for each and every spec in the game. Should you go Aldor or Scryer? So Balanced Druid is Scryer, Feral Druid DPS is Aldor. You will notice there are much better melee DPS quest rewards for the Feral Druid. Anyway, moving on, same thing for Feral Druid tank. There's not really any big impactful avoidance leather gear, so just go for Aldor again. And then Resto Druid, go for Aldor. Rep Paladin, go for Aldor. Again, look at the quest rewards more than the actual reputation rewards. Protection Paladin, go for the Aldor because that chest piece is absolutely insane. Holy Paladin, again, go for Aldor. Elemental Shaman, go for Scryer. Enhancement Shaman, go for Aldor. Resto Shaman, go for Aldor. Warlock, Scryer. Mage, Scryer. Shadow Priest, Scryer. Healing Priest, Aldor. Protection Warrior, Aldor. And then the DPS Warriors should go Aldor. Sword Rogue should go Aldor. Dagger Rogue should go Aldor. And then Hunter should go Aldor. And there you go, Bob's your uncle video over. I'll also put those answers in the description below. My name is MetaGoblin. To my next video, ciao.